we get to explore life together. We explore life together by our questions. It's the easiest way. And here's the key thing. In order to explore life with your questions, guess what? You got to have an imagination that would ask questions. That's why imagination is so important to us. And when we're 2, 3 years old, we're out there, we're asking questions like crazy. And our parents might be saying to us, whoa, why are you asking so much questions? Go bother your mom, go bother your dad type thing. No, we don't ever want to discourage people from asking questions. Questions are the key to an expansive life. You get that? An expansive life comes from questioning what is. It's not settling with what is, it's expanding. And so today, I talked about who is the master of your life? Is it you or is it your ego? Your mind, your past? The past that you've had that causes you to react? The past that you've had that has conditioned you to what self-worth you have right now? Keep in mind that your self-worth is a conditioned response to an environment based on many factors that you've not chosen. And the fact of the matter is your self-worth can be unlimited if you choose it to be. That means you can have incredible relationships. You can have incredible wealth. You can have incredible health. You can have incredible insights, wisdom, knowledge, all of that, peace. You can have all of that if you just open yourself up to the possibility and change. What do you change? Habits of thinking. That's what Reverend Larry and I talked about in our podcast on Beyond Limits Radio is the name of our podcast. We do that once a week, he and I. And we go back and forth on things. And yesterday we talked about the powers of habits, especially habitual thinking. So what is it you habitually think about the most? You're probably not even aware. You're probably not even aware of what your habit is. A lot of the habit is, I don't deserve that. No, I'll get that later. I'm not ready for that. Well, wait a second. What determines if you're ready? Oh, wait a second. Here's the answer. You do. Do you get that? You determine if you're ready. No one else. And you see, that's a fallacy. We have to wait, well, until they know I'm ready, I can't do anything. No, you determine your readiness. That's what life is about. It's giving you responsibility to step into any situation, which is really an energetic. You get to step into any energy that you choose. The question is, do you believe you're ready to step into that energy? Are you ready to step into an expanded, adult, mature relationship with other individuals, where it's not based on filling each other's needs, but it's based on freedom and sharing and growing and supporting each other on this journey of expansion that we call life. That's what makes relationships fun, when you got that as your basis, that is your purpose. And I see all of you out there, Annette, Patricia, Richard, Kathy, and Aaron. We've got UK listening. I know we've got West Texas listening. We've got Dallas listening. We got people from all over listening to us. I think Missouri's out there as well. If you haven't checked in, please do. Let me know you're out there. And if you got questions, hey, I'd love to talk about what you want to talk about, but you got to let me know, because here's what I do know is I can't read your mind. I've given that up. And here's the key about a mature relationship. A mature relationship never expects anyone to read their mind. They simply are out there. They ask for what they want when they want it. They talk about what they want when they talk about it. They don't wait around and guess people's mind. Or they ought to know what I'm thinking. They ought to know what I want to talk about. No, folks, not going to happen. Not going to happen. My not quite 3-year-old granddaughter, she's 2 months shy of 3. You don't ever have to worry. She lets you know what she's thinking. Doesn't matter what you want to say. She lets you know what she's thinking. And you know what's cool about that? It's always about playing. It's always about expansion. It's always questions about more. Oh my God, That's what you want. I love that she's got that. And I know my son at times gets very frustrated with it. I said, no, Matt, don't get frustrated. Let her be that way. Let her be. That's expanding. She's expanding herself. She's growing herself. You never want to take that away, because ask yourself this question. How have I limited myself? How have I settled in this life? Have you settled in your life? Let me ask this question, a better question. Are you ready to start expanding again? Because if you are, you have that power. You've just got to start to see life and look at it differently than you're currently looking at it. You've got to start to build a mental image of what that life should look like for you. What do you want that life to look like? Because until you can build a mental image, you're not going to have it. Because no one's going to build a mental image for a higher life than you. No one can. It's your life. It's not anyone else's life. So if you're married and you're waiting for your partner to build a bigger image of your relationship, man, you're going to be waiting a long ass time. Because it may not be what you want. You've got to create your image of it. People say, well, Lee, you're selfish. Okay, I got a statement here. Kavita says, the past week, I've had no electricity for more than 48 hours. 5 pipes burst, but I told myself, Reverend Lee said, you're always supported equally to the extent of the problem you're going through, and I was supported. What a wonderful realization, Kavita. Think about this. You may have had no electricity. You did have a roof over your head. You may have had pipes that burst, but you could have been in Yemen, where it's war-torn. There's no shelter. There's no nothing. There's plague. There's bullets flying, bombs exploding. So when we really bring into light, where are we? What are we experiencing? How bad was it? I had nothing like what you experienced, Kavita, where I live. I had just the fact that it was cold, but I had power. I had water. I had shelter. I was just confined. And what did I do? I looked at it, what a time to go within. What a time to explore my inner self more. I don't know what all of you experienced through this. I know it was pretty bad here in Texas. This state was not ready for what happened. It really showed that our infrastructure needs tremendous amount of work. Here's what I'm going to say. I don't get political very often, and I don't know if this is even political, but I'm going to make this statement. Our government, yours and mine, is responsible for the infrastructure of this country. Our transportation system, it's responsible for our electrical system, our water system. They should be focusing on that and not on these moral issues that we seem to be going for all the time. They have no business being in moral issues. That's not why they were elected. That's not what the Constitution wants them to be. I invite you to start considering it from that perspective. Hold people accountable, folks. But here's a secret. You can't hold anyone else accountable until you hold you accountable. Interesting, isn't it? Kavita, I love that you discovered you had these friends. I love that you discovered it, because that's when you know you have friends. I thought about inviting people to my house because we had power in that. Here's the reason I didn't. Got a hill. It's all ice. You couldn't get here. We couldn't get out. Other people could drive, but we couldn't get out because of the hill with ice. So it was a blessing. It was a curse. It was both. You just accept it. Yeah, it was world news what happened here in Texas, because here, the great state of, I'm about to get sarcastic. I want you to know that out there. Reverend Lee does have sarcasm still in his life. The great state of Texas that can succeed from Texas, from the union, if it wants, according to what people say, can succeed. But it can't even maintain its own power. It can't maintain water for its people. I think we've got some rethinking to do here, don't you? I think we've got to start fooling ourselves with false idealisms. And let's come back to taking care of each other. If nothing else happened this week, or nothing else that's happened in COVID-19 and all this stuff that we're going through this crisis that we're living through, we've got to start taking care of each other. We've got to hold ourselves responsible and hold the light up so that others can hold themselves responsible. And in that way, we take control of our mind and it becomes a servant to us, and we're not a servant to it. So I want you to know I'll be here tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Tomorrow at 10:30, I'll be talking about my third in the set of 4 on love. I've talked about what is love. I've talked about love of self. Tomorrow, I'll talk about love of others. So no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing today, no matter what you've been and what you look like, I accept you just like you are, because that's what love is. So go create your great day. Until next time, aloha.